Let's talk about the capo and about changing keys. The guitar is happy in certain keys. It's a key-sensitive instrument to a degree. The open position chords sound, as we know, great, nice and big and open and warm. And also, you put the time into learning these chords, and so you'd like to get as much use out of them as possible, right? But sometimes the chords that you are playing in open position may not work in the key that you're required to play in. And that most often has to do with a vocalist. Now, whether you're singing yourself or you're accompanying someone else, you may very possibly have to change keys. Now, that's where the capo comes in, especially with open position chords. The capo allows you to change keys quickly and simply and easily without having to change your chord forms. Now, when I say your chord forms, that means if I take a D chord like this, the form of that chord is, just my fingers 1, 2, and 3, and there's the chord form. So the question is, how do I change the key, when I'm wanting to use exactly this same chord form or chord shape? The way I do that is by using a capo. And today I'm just going to take this quick change capo, Kaiser capo, and put it on the 2nd fret like that. And as you can see, it should tuck fairly closely to the fret itself. And all I do is grip the capo, right? And then place it down. And now effectively the capo becomes the nut of the guitar. This section of the guitar is now dead. Nothing's going on here. So effectively what I've done is shortened the length of all of the strings. I've made the scale of the guitar shorter, and thus I've increased the pitch. I've made the pitch of everything higher. Now I take that same D chord shape that I had before, and I place it down and play it here again. And in relation, I would place it in exactly the same way I placed my D chord when I didn't have a capo on. In other words, this becomes my new nut, and I place the D chord on the 2nd fret. Now, let's compare the sound of the D chord in open position with the sound of the D chord capo, fret 2, so as you can hear, the entire pitch has gone up. Everything has gone up, in this case, by 2 frets. Now, really, I have changed key, and so really the notes that I'm playing are now different notes. They are no longer D, F sharp, and A that they were with the D chord. Even though I'm playing the same shape, because I've moved the capo, I'm actually playing different notes. The notes that I'm now playing, I'm not even going to tell you what they are, because I think it's just going to make it more confusing. Let's put it this way. All I've done is I've moved up. The key has shifted up. And you could hear that with your ear. Now, as we move forward, we'll teach you how that all works. In other words, what chords you're actually playing, because it may become important as you want to play with other instrumentalists, and you want to be able to tell them what chords you're actually playing. But for now, for this introduction to the capo, What we want to do is just get that capo placed and just start playing some open position chords and listen to those chords and how they change with the use of that capo. Now, we don't only have to go just as far as the 2nd fret. We could even go as far as fret 5, for instance. So clearly, at this point, you can tell, wow, it almost begins to sound like a mandolin. Doesn't it? It's really, really pretty up there. It's a lovely effect. But as you can see, the higher you go with the capo, the more you're going to obviously lose the bottom end of the instrument. And so that's a consideration. Capos, to a degree, you have to become aware of how high you're moving the capo, especially if you want some oomph in the bottom end of your instrument. So that's a little introduction to the capo. Move it around, make sure that you're placing it correctly. If you don't have one in your arsenal of cool stuff, cool guitar stuff, definitely open the pocket of your guitar case and put one of these in, and you'll be happy you did.